How's it going? My name is Bobby Tewksbary. I'm here with Dustin Geiger. We're at 180 Performance in Pelotero's flagship office here, just north of Austin, Texas. We're starting a new channel. We're doing hitting product reviews.
Oh my goodness. So here we have our Axe Bat speed trainers. We have 3 different bats here. These are advertised for guys that are swinging typically a drop 3 bat. They are 20% underload with our blue, 20% overload with the green and red, with a little bit of weight displacement difference on the 20% positive. The green one's going to be our barrel loaded. The red one's going to be handle loaded. These are advertised to get yourself to swing fast. That's what these are advertised as. These right here in my hands are 34, 30, 31. What they're working off of. So the blue one is a 34, 20% under would be 24.8 ounces. And then the 20% overs are going to be 37.2. So pretty substantially heavy if you're not used to it.
Yeah, so this whole concept of overload, underload isn't new. There's an old Russian study that came out that at the time recommended about a 13% up and down overload, underload. So with these axe trainers, it says it right on there. I don't know if you can see that, but it tells you right on there what the drop is. One thing about these bats is they have the axe handle. Mm-hmm. So personally, I don't like the axe handle. Some people swear by it. It's the end all be all. We're doing the review for the axe product, but you can also look at this as just bat speed training in general. Like, is it a useful practice? I used to have I had a whole little garbage can full of bats. Yeah. That, any old bat that you can find at like a Play It Again Sports. You get neighborhood kids that have outgrown their bats. You can pass bats down to younger kids. You can use this principle without having to buy these bats, but this is a good option. One thing I like about these is that you can really train with them with real balls at game speed. They've been engineered to kind of handle that game speed pitching. They are, it's a nice product. It's well made. Axe has been doing a really nice job with their marketing and getting the product out there. Again, the axe handle, if you don't know what that is, if you've ever dealt with like a hamate situation, guys that
this one right here.
They hang their pinky off. Some guys will do that, and then the knob can bust up your hamate. So it's an option. It's not for everybody, but it's an option.
Talking quality of product, these ones right here are over a year old, and I mean, you guys can see video quality is pretty solid here. They've got decent wear and tear, but I mean, the worst thing that happens is that we have to re-grip them just with some athletic tape, or you can put lizard skin on it or whatever. They're normal bats. These things have been used off of machine, tee, front toss. Just swing it like a normal bat. So quality-wise, I'd say these are up there. Even the underload, which usually takes a beating, and they advertise not to hit off pitched baseballs off of the machine, as it could damage the inside walls. We kind of do it anyway, because why not? Because we bought them. But and it's fun. Guys like to see, look at the hit tracks and, oh well, my exit-velo just jumped because you're swinging a 25-ounce bat, and they just try to swing them as hard as they can and try to hit the ball as far as they can. So it's fun. So there's definitely the fun side of it, but there's also the practicality side, which we love to use.
Yeah, another benefit of using the overload underload principle is I just call it like bat control awareness. You're developing feel when you're using a bat that's heavier than normal and lighter than normal. Are these ones that are hand loaded versus end loaded?
So these are yep. Barrel loaded, and these are handle loaded.
So the green one has a barrel load, so all the weight's towards the end of the bat.
Yep.
There's a trick you can do. I teach this to people all the time. You can find the balance point on a bat, a little friction test. Just slide your hands together, slide your hands together, slide your hands together, and you're going to find the balance point. This is also where you should hold the bat when you bunt. So that's the balance point on this one.
So we're gonna mark that one right at the end of the E.
And then this one's hand loaded. Just picking it up, I can feel the difference.
Yeah.
And then wherever there's less friction, your hand's gonna slide, and you can see I'm getting way further down.
So we're looking, what is that? We're gonna say.
It's quite a bit.
Quite a substantial difference there on where that weight is actually centered, or where the balance point of the bat is.
So you might find with these bats, like manufacturers will make bats that are more end loaded versus more hand loaded. You might find that you really like the end loaded bat. Typically what I find is guys that have more power, hitters that like to feel kind of that whip at the end of the bat will like the end loaded bat. We're more control guys. Guys that consider themselves to be more handsy will like the hand-loaded bat. So it's an option as well to just develop feel, to get that barrel awareness. I used to always say, like, it doesn't matter if you're swinging a telephone pole or a Little League bat. If you can control the inside part of the ball, if you can be accurate, it doesn't matter what bat you have. But this is a good way to develop bat speed and to develop that awareness, that barrel awareness, and square up the ball.
For sure. So using it, what do we see ourselves? I mean, I can use this with, again, all my guys that swing a drop 3 bat, guys that have a really good base in their swing, like they've already got the building blocks, they're balanced, and then just looking for that extra step of that advertised, swing speed, and we can kind of test it off of that. So for me, that's what I would see my guys use it with. It's not something that I'll just throw all 3 bats at all of my guys right out the gate. But again, like you said, if they're trying to find what they like, handle loaded, barrel loaded, so that they can apply it to their game bat is a huge benefit to these. Looking at, the mark against it, I guess I would say would be that not everybody likes to swing the axe handle, and
Sure.
you had mentioned that. So if you're not an axe handle guy, and Bobby touched on this already, you're not an axe handle guy, and you still want to try to get the benefits of that overload underload, go to Play It Again Sports. You can find a 34-31, or if that's the size bat that you swing, you can get the lead. There's lead tape that you can help increase the weight on it. You can put that weight wherever we need to, so we can throw it right kind of more into the end of this one. If we need that handle loaded, we can put it more in the center, or we can even wrap something onto the knob. So there's always added different options that we can have, but for quality of product, for durability, axe handle. I mean, these axe trainers definitely have a leg up on competition.
Yeah, the current price of these is $480 for the set of bats, which can be pretty steep. They used to be $600. They're currently marked down on the website. Got it up right now. $600 is a lot for training bats. If you can go on eBay, if you can go on Craigslist, you can go on Facebook Marketplace, you can just ask your teammates, you got any old bats? These are training bats. These aren't for games, so your performance isn't what matters. It's developing and using the training principles that is what matters with using the overload, underload. So you don't need to spend a bunch of money to get the benefit. But if you like the axe bats, if you like the handle, it is a very quality made product. I've had their long trainer. I know they have a short trainer. They do a really nice job making products. And if you like the axe bat, it's a great option. The other thing that I want to touch on with bat speed training in general is it should be supplemental to your weight training program. This isn't going to raise your ceiling. This whole concept of floor versus ceiling, right? You have a base level of strength. These bat speed trainers doing a bat speed program is going to get your bat speed to what you're physically capable of. To increase your bat speed in a meaningful way, you're going to need to get in the weight room. You're going to need to do some training programs, and you're going to need to increase your overall strength. Doing high intent swings with any bat is going to be helpful. It's going to help recruit. It's going to, you need to train to swing fast if you want to swing faster. It's like trying to sprint faster. If you just do a bunch of long distance running, you're not going to run, your sprinting speed's not going to get better. Just like if you're going to increase your 60-yard time, you probably need to get in the weight room and increase the amount of force you can produce. So this isn't going to really change the amount of force you produce. It's going to help recruit it better, and it's going to kind of get you to your potential. So it's a good product for what it is, but it should be supplemental. There's more to this equation than just buying bats and acquiring some bats that are lighter and some heavier, and then you become a better hitter. There's a lot more to it, but this is a good piece that in a team setting can be very easy to deploy, because as a coach, if I'm like, all right, underspeed, and they come in with a green bat, I'm like, dude, that's the wrong bat.
Right.
You get the wrong one. So if you're doing something like 2 sets of 10 with each bat, it's pretty easy to put out there. And
great for station work. I mean, you can just throw them in. You could have 3 different cages if you have, or 3 different T stations off of your, the little 7x7 nets, 1 at each station. Just roll with it, and great training piece. I think is the biggest touch on that. It's not a end-all product.
Yep.
But
and then in terms of like opportunity to integrate with tech, if you're doing measurements, if you have a hit tracks, you can use these products and see if there's gains. The light bat, you might boost your PR on your exit velocity, but you're going to see the differences. You're going to be able to track how the different bats are performing.
Yep.
If you're using the hand load and end load, you can see if your accuracy numbers with your line drive percentages, if that's changing. If you feel like you can't square up the ball with one or the other, way to do the different measurements there. And also, I'm pretty sure blast motion works.
they do.
On the X, but
They
Dynamic
actually
X does not.
Oh, really?
Correct.
Okay.
I think they're working on it, but I don't know if it's ready yet.
So blast, when you put the blast sensor on the Axe pad, it has to be like a certain way. Like there's the little blast man or whatever they call him. And yeah, they say it as soon as you log into the bat to put that blast sensor on. They like, you have to have it like this or it won't work properly. So it's definitely a good tech piece that it can function with. Also, on the hit tracks, not to let crazy jump off, you can actually change the bats on hit tracks. They actually have barrel loaded and handle loaded as listed categories, so that when we're talking about trackability with integrating in tech, that you can go right into it immediately. And if you switch in between bats, you're like, oh, well, this is what I did with the barrel loaded, this is what I did with the handle loaded. They're both the same weight. So, what's better benefit for you?
Yep.
And then compare it to your normal bat as well. So,
Yeah.
it's the functionality is kind of built in there.
Absolutely. So, what is the hope? If you're spending $480 on some bats,
Yeah.
what are you trying to get out of it? If you're a player, if you're a parent, and you're going, man, I see these bat speed trainers. Should I get these? Should I invest? I mean, it's a good chunk of change.
It is.
What's the hope?
I guess the hope is that you're going to swing faster. Bat speed, it's so talked about now. It's one of the biggest metrics that gets tested on blast and diamond kinetics is bat speed. So they're looking for, like the advertised what it's advertised as is, hey, I want to swing fast. Doesn't say anything. I don't believe it says anything about true like mechanics. I believe they do say something about benefiting your swing. Maybe swing plane can be adjusted with that, and I'm wondering if that's where the weight's proportioned more so. You can kind of play around with that, but it's not really something that you can just pick up and like, oh well, this one's definitely better without something.
Yeah. So
there's more pieces to the puzzle.
it's a quality product.
Yes.
The manufacturing, the quality of it, the durability of it, all checks out. For me, the hope is around the training principles of overload, underload. It's a pretty tried and true method. It's not, people have been doing this for dozens of years, decades. This is not a new thing. Increasing your bat speed is not a bad thing. Hitting the ball hard is the goal. So for me, the biggest benefit is going to be the improved accuracy through awareness. It's feeling the end load, feeling the hand load, finding what works best for you, developing the feel. To me, that's the greatest hope that you can get out of these types of trainers. In a team setting where there's a lot of intent and guys are hyped up and it's like the rah-rah environment, I can see how there would be some energy around sessions using these. Improving bat speed doesn't make you a better hitter by default. So incorporate this into your training, but don't just say, oh, my bat speed's faster, therefore I'm a better hitter. This is about getting better in games. It's about performing. So don't just swing hard to swing hard. There's a time and a place for that. If you're just like out of the cage doing dry swings and it's like, hey, your goal with this bat is to swing as hard as you can, then that's the right time for it.
Yeah.
Getting that to transfer into your game swing is where this will really help you over time as you're trying to get more hits. That's the goal.
So we're right after the Masters, and I just saw something pop up about Tiger Woods. He's talking about hitting the driver, was swing as hard as you can with the ability to still hit the center of the club face. So I guess same kind of principle revolves around your bats. Swing as hard as you can with control and being able to barrel up the baseball. Because at the end of the day, if you're not barreling up the baseball, you can have the fastest swing in the world.
Yeah, the quickness component is, I was trying to get there and I didn't find the words. We got to swing quickly, and you can swing hard and swing fast in a way that's not quick. Baseball is a premium on quickness because there's a pitch coming in, sometimes very, very quickly. We're talking 95, 100 mile an hour pitches coming in at the highest levels. If you're in Little League facing a kid throwing 68, 70, that's fast. So one tendency that I see with bat speed training is kids will just swing really long and fast, and the bat speed number might be going up, but they're getting longer. So that when you look at swing length, you can look at that in terms of speed and like how long it takes, and from a time perspective, but also how quick from commitment especially. How long does your swing actually take to be executed to get the barrel to the ball? And then from commitment level, like if you have to like really wind it up and swing it, that doesn't work in baseball. So it's got to be built into a realistic swing with realistic mechanics. You don't want to make your mechanics worse by trying to swing fast. So that's a cautionary tale there.
Swinging faster, but actually swinging slower as a byproduct of bad mechanics.
See it frequently.
Yeah,
so
makes sense.
Axe bat, speed trainers. decent option. I think for me, the summary is the principles of overload, underload are good. Really simple to implement into your training. If you want a quality product, if you love the axe handle, it's a great option for you. But definitely check out the overload, underload training because that is good.
It's proven.
Can't go wrong. All right, that wraps our first product review. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back each week with a new product. Take care.
Thanks, y'all.